What's going on, my people, bro? I ain't been on here in a minute. I came on here today because I met a real cool guy at work today, white guy, older guy. Um, as people that know that really just kind of watch what I be doing on this YouTube channel, I work in the medical field. And the guy that came in, he was actually getting admitted for mental health reasons. And he was a funny guy to where he'll come out of his room and, just kind of walk around, to where you would look at him like, man, this dude crazy. He wanted a Kit Kat at one point. I'm just kind of looking at him, and one of the nurses ended up going to get him a Kit Kat and took him back to his room. And just throughout the night, he was kind of coming out and this and that, to where you would think that the man kind of crazy. You would have to really just be in my predicament to see what I'm talking about, because I use that crazy word loosely. But I got a chance to know the dude. And when I say that, I stayed at work like 15 minutes extra talking to this guy. Pretty much talked to him like a whole hour and a half, just to be honest with you. Just chit-chatting, talking about Antarctica, black goo, Oregon, I won't say aliens really, but just different species that's here. How to put water in your car instead of gas. He was telling me about how to put how we was talking about levitation. He told me he did something where he put his, and I asked him like 2 or 3 times because I was trying to really understand this, bro. He said he put his cell phone up in a jar wrap, and this is how I'm interpreting it, but I really don't know like the whole process, and other people probably really will, but I don't. Anyway, he put his cell phone up in a jar. He said it was aluminum in there, so I'm assuming that he wrapped his phone up with aluminum foil. He said you gotta have four pennies. He said 2 on the outside, 2 on the inside, 4 batteries, and you gotta have like the actual cable, I'm guessing, to like connect it. And I say guessing because he did say that you have to have the cables. And I was asking him all these questions, but at the same time, sometimes you can't really interrupt people when they just just trying to tell a truth in a sense. But basically he said when you do that the phone is gonna levitate because of the energy that's within itself, like the joy itself. So I'm gonna have to really try that shit, and even if I don't probably have it how he was saying, eventually I'm gonna get it, because like I said, wrap that, he said aluminum, 4 pennies, 4 batteries, the actual little wire that you probably gotta put around that battery, and the phone's supposed to levitate. I'm not saying it's gonna work, but I say why not? Energy is free, man. All you gotta have is really the right components. But I came on here because, man, that dude put me on though, because I was shaking my head. One of the nurses, she came to the room because I was in there so long, and I heard somebody say, so and so in that room, like, what's going on with them? Basically, I heard another nurse say that. And I'm saying to myself, why he talking to me just giving me shit, bro? Next thing I know, like, somebody coming out, taking a patient somewhere, and a nurse said, hey, Monica, you got a phone call. She was trying to lure me out the room because she thought that the patient was actually just wasting my time, and I was like just hemmed up in there. So I walk up out the room. I kind of knew what was going on. I walk out the room, and she was like, yeah, I was just trying to get you out of, get you out of there. I know it's 10 o'clock. Well, she didn't really say all that. She was like, pretty much like, she was trying to help me out. You know what I mean? I looked at her, I said, what time is it? And she was like, I think she said like 10:12 or something, like 10:08, 10:12, something like that. I said, damn, I get off at 10 p.m. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if I need to put that shit on here, but I get off at 10. You know what I'm saying? Y'all my people. And to be honest, we in this game. These niggas know what it is. So the real ones that's really watching me, they know what time I get off. Most likely also. But I still try to watch it. I try to watch it for myself and my family. So just to keep it real G. So I go back to the room and I chop it up with them probably like 10 more minutes, and I'm like, yo, okay, I'm finna go. You know, I gotta get off, and you know, I'm off basically. I'm like, yo, I've been off since 10. And the man pretty much was like homeless. He had a little smell on him and all this, you know, all this little stuff. And I made sure that he was giving me hella information in a sense, and I was writing that shit down. I put it in my phone till when my phone went dead, just little stuff. But I introduced myself in a sense, and I was like, yo, my name is so and so, and I told him, you know, I wrote your name down, and I shook his hand because I know energy is power. I know he a good dude. And before I left, I gave him a hug just for that energy. You know what I'm saying? Because I know he a part of me. And I really made this video right here to just say, like, you'll be surprised, like, some of the people that's the realest ones. And you look at him and be like, yo, this a bomb. Like, yo, he crazy. And that's what people really just try to label you as. And that's what he was really getting admitted to. And he told me straight up, like, I got a medical condition and they sending me to mental. And I wanted to say, bro, you don't even need to. I think I even said, like, you don't need to go to mental. Like, you on the truth. And he even realized, he was like, bro, you woke. Like, and that made me feel good in the inside, because I also knew the same about him. And we come through, you know, if you look at us just by appearance, you'll say, man, y'all come from two different walks of life. But no, we was the same, and we are the same. And I wanted him to know that, like, much respect. Like, I knew that if I gave him a hug, that smell probably was going to be on me. But I was like, fuck it. And I know that the coronavirus is going around, but I still shook his hand. Because I know that he is a part of me and I'm a part of him, and he a real one. Like, it's hard to come really across the people that you can really relate to, regardless of what they might look like, man. Like, that man did not need to really be there for no crazy ass shit, or to be really admitted on no, oh, he not right. No, he right. And that's the thing about the society. Like, people sit up there and try to label somebody as crazy because they can't identify what that person is going through. That person is on a whole nother level than you, taking on a whole lot of information that you couldn't even handle, like, at all. And I think a lot of it go through the processing, you know, just trying to process information. And I'm not labeling that man crazy at all. I don't even know why he came in. I didn't get the back history or nothing. I just kind of came through him, and I was just being really a blessing to him in a sense. Like, hey, you need, because we do them little brown bag lunch. Hey, you want a sandwich? Yeah, he said warm it up. He was cool. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you warm it up. He wasn't no average, like, yo, just bring me the sandwich. Hey, warm that bitch up for me. White dude, though. You know what I'm saying? Walking through that bitch in a sense, just coming out the room, like, it's whatever. And that's what I kind of look back at, and I respect that, because he got that, if you want to say, that rebellious attitude. And it's not no rebellious on, I'm going against the grain. He was being himself, man. He know who he is up in his world, regardless of how somebody look at him and label him, like, straight up. And I came home, though, and I looked at some of that stuff that we was talking about. I straight Googled it. We was on all kind of stuff. We was on Antarctica. We was on bunkers under the ground. We was on Black Goo. We was on We ain't really even get into targeting individual type stuff because I was trying to peep out his mind. But basically, like, yeah, he all up in his word. Like, straight up. He dibbled and dabbled. He up in here, man. He part of us, like, straight up. I don't believe in labels, and I don't even call myself no targeting individual. I know that I am me, and I know people know that I am me, and I'm going to continue to be me, and I'm just searching for me. You know what I'm saying? We talked about satellites. I told him how I was looking in the sky one day, and it's a true story. I was looking at what I quote-unquote say was a star, and I looked at that star. I said, bro, I just kept staring at it for damn near 30 minutes. Like, yo, this ain't no star. Just talking to myself, meditating within my own mind. And that motherfucking star that I say quote-unquote disappeared. And he made this, he did this little thing with his hand where he was like, shoo, like it was a UFO. I said, no, it didn't do that. That bitch just wasn't there anymore. You know what I mean? And, yeah, like, talking about, like, is we really living on, you know, is this really a reality or illusion? But he really just honed into me, like, one thing I'd say, he was talking about not Black Sunday, I'm sorry. He was talking about, damn, what do you call it? I don't know why I got Black Sunday in my mind. And it's not even Sabbath Sunday, but pretty much that, like, in a sense how they pretty much say that you really don't supposed to worship, you know, if you believe in the Lord and so forth, on a Sunday. You know, the Sabbath is really on a Saturday type of deal. I watched a couple of videos on that, and that's not what the videos that I saw was even really leading to, but at least I got some knowledge on that. We was just on some shit, man. And I told him straight up, I said, man, if I knew you was on this, I would have been in your room the whole time. But it was a blessing in disguise, like, seriously. And I work with a woman that don't believe in God. She was one of the ones that was really probably by the room that heard a lot of the stuff that we was really just talking about. Got a couple of small interruptions, but overall, like, he was cool people. I enjoyed myself, and I'll never forget that man. Wrote his name down and everything, man. Like, seriously. And he walking through it. Like, this man probably finna be on a fucking 48 or 72 hour hold, really for nothing. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the life that we live. And he wasn't stressing on it. He was chilling. Like, he was really in there to get medical help, and then they turned that shit around. It's like the life that we live, but he see through it, and I think his spirit and his frequency is higher to even really just sit up there and be upset about it, if that's the right word. Like, it's a little late right now, but that's really not the right word about trying to explain this. Is really upset. But I think he know his purpose, and I think he know in a sense who he is. You probably won't see that just coming off on his appearance alone, but just speaking to this man and the words that come out of his mouth, like, I was like, nah, you not crazy. Ain't nothing wrong with you, bro. You enlightened, and you are the higher power. You got high frequency. Like, man, we talking about everything. People sent up there. He was telling me about somebody putting aluminum foil up in their hats and stuff, and that's how I was like, oh, they was trying to get from EMF waves. And he kind of looked at me, and that's when he was like, yo, he ain't say it like this, you know what I mean? But he looked at me kind of like sideways, to where he knew that I was on to what he was, you know, I was on that level. I can realize what you talking about. He was like, oh, you woke. And then he talking about how doctors don't really cure, and, you know, you got to go holistic and all that, man. That's what I say, man. I guess the point of the video, man, don't judge. I pray to God all the time, and we talked about God in a sense, not the God, just saying God and all this little stuff, just the source itself, just the light itself, the energy itself. Talked to him and was like, bro, I don't know. He was just, a good encounter. And I'm glad I really made this video, because it just showed me like the impact that he had on me. Like, seriously, good dude. And that's what I was saying. Driving home, I was like, man, that's what it's about. It's about meeting good people. Like, that shit really will uplift you. And I was telling myself, a lot of people that really is in the healthcare field, I'm not going to say everybody, but the majority of the people really don't belong there, man, because they don't have good hearts and they don't have good spirits. They there for a paycheck, and that's really about it. They don't really care about the environment and what's going on in people's lives, and most of the time, I really be that person that do. I would sit up there and talk to you and try to make sure you straight. Hey, you need some water? You need orange juice? Like, what you need? I got you. Taking in that time, having small conversations, like all that. Like, I'm about that, man. If you on my vibration and we vibing, I'm that person for you, man. Straight up. And yeah, like tonight was a good night, man. And I'm about to get up off here, but I'll leave up off here saying I'm grateful. I'm grateful for meeting somebody like that, man, because it shows me that God can bring people into your life, like, whether you believe it or not, like, whether you think the time is not right or not, or just how it comes, because I know I needed that. Like, yesterday, bro, I was coming out my neighborhood and a motherfucking car almost hit me out of nowhere, and I know it was my protection. I know my angels was watching me, because yeah, like, somebody, like, ran a fucking red light or whatever, and all I heard looking up was just the fucking tires screeching, you know, and they swerving, and, I didn't even really want to go to the store that morning, but, yeah, man, protection is real, and everything that we go through